What up, y'all? So today, what we're actually about to do is I'm about to go through a coaching session from the Six Figure Printer Blueprint, and I've decided that I was going to let you guys listen in and see what you guys can get from it. Yeah. This won't stay live, but I wanted to let y'all partake today, this morning. So if you're joining me, welcome. If you're joining me, welcome. I'm mad I actually don't have um what I was intending on using for this, but this should be good anyway for you guys. And if this works outright, maybe we'll do this a little bit more often. Not too often, but you catch it live and it'll be good. So if y'all got any questions or anything, um, at the end, for those of you guys who stick it out with me, we will get it going. So I got my AI recorder right here. I like to use this to summarize everything. It's been great. All right, so right now we got G Code printing and design. Um, Student meeting. I'm Stan Banks. We're meeting with Granada about her business, some updates, and we got to clarify some things from last week. I think I had a great week of meetings, and by the end of it, I was really able to hone in on the common issues because everybody had a different perspective. So I'm going to summarize that for Granada, see what she got done this week, and then I'm going to give her the new homework to do in order so we can get her brand rebranded and getting started. All right, let's get it. So let's see what we get in a minute. Where is? Oh, I'm looking for my phone to text her, but I can't catch y'all on it. Let me just make sure real quick. Give me a second. What up? What up, bro? So, also to you guys out here, um, I want you guys to know that pretty much the Six Figure Printer program is those people have pretty much unlimited access to me. And so if you want individual help on your business and you want to discuss, all of that kind of stuff, then that might be the place that you want to be. This is going to be what the kind of typical, I didn't say typical because they're never typical, but we address things based on where they're at. And so we get them up to speed. Let's get this out of the way. If y'all haven't watched my recent videos, man, I'm telling y'all, this is stuff that you guys should be watching and paying attention to. Because I'm giving y'all what y'all need inside of there. Trust me. Those are the videos that matter. We thought we needed to learn about t-shirt businesses when we actually need to learn how to build businesses. What's up, John? Ooh. Get this off. You on mute.
How are you?
Pretty good. Glad you could join us today. So I want to tell you this before we get started. I decided I was going to stream a little bit today. So we talk normally, but keep any personal information out of it. Your face ain't on it, so we just gonna have a general conversation. Um, yeah. All right.
Okay. You would say that when my hair ain't done, but
You ain't on.
okay.
No. You not. You ain't on video. Just audio.
Okay.
And you look fine, by the way. Y'all women, boy, y'all kill me. Y'all got to be Beyonce. I woke up like this in order to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter. Wait, are we streaming now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you later.
All right. So talk to me.
Okay. So I did my homework as
Alright.
far as reaching out to the lady.
Mhm.
She's apparently in Africa.
Okay.
She said she wanted the services, but we was talking on WhatsApp and she never got back to me. So I'm gonna reach out to her again.
So what did you ask her?
I just asked her if she found someone to do her shirts yet, and she
Okay.
said no. She had a few people, but she
Nothing.
wasn't nothing yet.
Okay.
So I said okay.
When you reach out to her this time, get the job details. And I know you already quoted her, right?
Yeah. So she gave me the job details already. She
Okay.
gave me the logo. I'm almost certain that this logo needs to be a vector or something to
So get it over to me right now. I'll get it vector.
Okay.
Okay. And what color shirt?
White.
Okay, so we want to get her a mock-up. Have you done that yet?
No.
So let's get her a mock-up right now. What date does she need the shirts by?
So she didn't tell me that.
So let's ask.
I know it's within 30 days.
So what happens is I want you to be proactive about getting what you need and getting it in front of her, right? And so when you're in the process, especially when now you kind of sent her off and you're inviting her back, right? It's like now if she has other people, you just want to be more present than they are, and this is hot. So this will be a job that you'll have within this account towards starting out for a good June.
Okay.
Right? So we need to send me her logo. I'll send it over to my vector team. And then we'll get that back right away, and by tomorrow, and then maybe I can probably get it fast because it's early.
Yeah.
Typically, no longer than the next day I'll have it. And then we're going to provide her with a mock-up on a white T-shirt. Actually, what I'll do is I'll have them do it. It'll be typically they do their mock-ups on. I don't know if they do them on realistic ones, but it's basically a digital like Illustrator mock-up. Whatever the case is, it'll be a mocked up enough that when we get the artwork back positive, I can tell them it's on a white shirt front print or whatever it is, and then we'll have that to send to her and say, hey, what date do you need these by? I can get them done so I can make sure I got them done for you, right? So that way, you're kind of like pushing her to doing the order or like placing the order with you, versus waiting for somebody else, waiting for her, and then potentially her going to one of her other options.
Okay.
Right? So, and then looking forward, we don't want to, we always want to analyze the job, the profit, the prices are always negotiable. Right? I know what everybody seems to think across the internet is like, nah, my price is my price. That is not how this business works. The largest shops negotiate. Right? So, based on what we talked about last week, if the job if I hear 100, 200, 300 pieces, I'm instantly like, okay, this is something that'll be worth it based on the way we produce shirts right now. This will be something that'll be worth it if I hit my price point. So if my price point on this price sheet is whatever, 15, but they got $12.50, I then go look at my price sheet again and say, all right, how much am I make? Then I do that estimate. How long it's going to take me to do it? I'm a profit this. I know it's going, and then I analyze the cost. And what you'll find usually is, like I said, we do $5 a shirt. We play the bulk order game. If we do $5 a shirt, we're good. We gonna be 250, at least 250, $300 an hour in production off of that, right? So when you get into those bulk orders, we always got to go back to the drawing board and look at it and say, you know, hey, is this profitable enough for me to do it? Should I take it? And typically the answer is gonna be yes. If you can keep it, you know, they ain't asking for a $4 shirt. You know what I mean? If they $1 under your price, you know what I mean? All right, well, you know what? Today, this time I can do that. It's a large enough order or whatever, you know. And then later on, what happens is once you get the account, you just add 25 cents next order, and then you get back to where you want to be. And I've been in those situations, so just always keep that in the back of your mind.
Okay.
So we're gonna be proactive. So you text me that, I'll put it with the Vector guys, and I'll tell them a white T-shirt mock-up. If there's any other details, just list it on there, and then I'll give it to them, and then yeah, we'll be good to go.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. And the only other thing I had to do was just read the pricing. I did. I understand it a lot better versus before when I didn't. I was like, okay, I need to be doing 25 a shirt, but I understand now.
So again, I think there's still situations where you can get $25 a shirt, right? And like I said, I think I told you this last week. I can't remember. That $25 shirt is like if a lot of people are coming and they're paying for the same design separately, right? But when you're dealing with an organization, you typically in the bulk order range. Now, if you can get $25 a shirt, you can get $25 a shirt. You're not going to lessen your prices. But what you'll find is the orders that we want to start getting now, like this lady, is like, well, am I going to get a reorder? Am I like, what's the typical market rate? Especially if you go into a place that's already used to buying from somewhere else, their price is going to look a lot more like what as far as the pricing book, what was your biggest takeaway out of there?
That I didn't have to go DTF all the time. For some reason, I forgot about screen print transfers. I immediately went to DTF.
It's
because it was colors.
Yeah. So you're not wrong, and that's what's pushed to you today, right? And it's the craze, and everything has a situation. So now you're in a position where you can go to one of the major companies, get some samples, and you know what I mean, and start to look at that option as time goes along, and you start there. And then if you find yourself doing a lot of that and then you want control, then you will look into like, hey, maybe I do get in the screen printing a little bit, right? Depending on the direction you want to go, right? The other option would be flat out outsourcing the job. So we want to keep in mind like where we want to be. We want to keep our mind focused on a bit of more so finding the customers, getting the orders in, but also on the backside, we want to have the options to be able to get the work done however we see fit, right? And this is why when I talk to people about getting the screen printing, I'm not talking from the perspective of like, you know, hey, just be a screen printer. But sometimes, and this is the place you make the most money, but sometimes it'll just having a small setup. You know, y'all got all this equipment already around and ain't being used everywhere, but just having that small setup there, you know, you can charge an extra $500 just because you can get it done by the time somebody needs it. And it's an option for you. You know what I mean? And so everything's an option. Everything's on the table. But DTF has been pushed, which it is. It's the easy way out. But when you take that easy way out, you know what I'm saying? It's like committing a crime. If you get caught taking that, you lose out. You lose something every single time. So now, you know, I want you can write this down this week. Hit up a couple of different companies. You can hit up 613. You can hit up who else? 613 FM Expressions, uh, Stalls, and just get samples in. Go on their websites, grab their samples. They'll send them to you, and just start to experience the other options out there. Get familiar with the pricing, and and see which ones you like and don't like.
Okay.
The 15-cent transfers, I'm not a huge fan of unless I'm doing like camp shirts for kids. That's just my opinion. But if you find with them, I like to go with something a little bit more premium. I think you can tell the difference. But get some in and just start to see, and then have their price sheets on hand, and then now you got that in the ballpark for whenever you need them.
Okay.
And take note.
And then with the shirts, I usually go to Sandmar.
Yep.
And I stick with Sandmar.
Yep.
Basically. Okay.
Yeah, this my new Sandmar. This my new Sandmar fit right now. I got these. I'm going to throw the logos on here for the football team, so I just ordered a sample. But yeah, you at Sandmar, you good. You don't gotta think outside of that. The only thing you can do inside, I think we talked. You already use Port and Company. You already use District. Like those are the cheaper shirts that you're going to use in comparison to their counterparts. But they are, in my opinion, along par with where they need to be. That's what I'm using for most of my orders anyway now. I like the fan favorites from I actually got some coming in today. The fan favorites. I'm about to use them for clothing brands. So but take the tag out, throw a new label in them. That'll be good. So you good there. You don't have to worry about that. And that's what the sheet is priced for too, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
When you look at it, it's priced for those. And keep pricing simple, right? Like literally once we get done your branding and your logo stuff, like we put them, we get the graphic designer to take the files and make them for you, put your brand into them. You know what I mean? You laminate it. You laminate a couple, keep them everywhere you are, in your car, your book bag, in your house, in your suit, wherever you at. You want to have one of these kind of in reach. And you can get a small one, keep it in your purse at all times. Somebody asks, pull that thing out. We price it right on the spot, right? And the confidence that you'll have is like, if you charge these prices, you're making money, right? Mm-hmm. If you had a discount at $2 to hit a budget, you still know you're making money. You got a good grasp on, like, all I gotta do is go right here on the list and it's there. Now there are other things like more premium products that people may want that we have to quote, but everything pretty much across the board should fall into here. And I'm gonna be working on the embroidery stuff. I have it done, I just haven't put it in the format, but I'm gonna be working on the embroidery stuff as well. Like polos and stuff like that people may want with those different options. Polos, hats. I think it's polos, hats, and it's one more thing, but all of that'll be on there too. So you in this area, so I'm pretty confident. I know my cousin is down somewhere near you, and he's getting this no problem too. So I think that'll be a great thing for you to have done once we get the branding done.
Okay. And speaking of the branding, so the logo, I don't know, did they do it already?
So look, we had a great week last week, right? Because we talked about this for literally everybody, and by the end of the week, I figured out something that I did wrong, something I didn't consider. And so when we text, I like Shania's, right? Which because you like it because it's still fennel and it got a little bit of it feels girly, and I think it's also simple in like what you typically go for from what the brand and stuff that you do. So the piece that I missed out on was getting you to go out and create your brand deck, right? You're gonna create what would be, and I just told you guys go out. Initially, I told you guys just to go out and look for logos that you like. What I should have told you guys was to go out, search websites, and look for brands that you like overall. And we're gonna create a brief. The brief for us, and this is by the end of what was it, Friday? I had the last meeting last week because I was like, yo, I didn't even know until the end that I was breaking something down for you guys that you can actually use in the future, because you're gonna have access to even the graphic designers and all of this stuff that you can go out and now you can go charge. Like I charge companies to create the branding, but once you know how, you don't necessarily have to do any of the work or the artwork. You need two people. You need my graphic designer, Adobe, right? And then you need a logo designer because he doesn't necessarily do logos. He can, but it's not his strong point. So once you get a logo from the graphic designer, then you take the brand stuff, and that's what Adobe does. He puts the business cards, the flyers. When I say he gonna drop your logo and all of this, he's the one now that creates all of this stuff. I no longer do it. Once I got the brand set, I give him what I like, the aesthetic I want. He goes off and creates it, not for just me, for the phlebotomy school. For he just did a trucking company last week that I sent him. So now I'm able to charge for actual branding and design of things that it don't actually require me no work. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go and visit 5. You're probably gonna end up visiting like 15 to 20 websites. And you're going to critique the websites. So you're going to write down gourmetprintanddesign.com. You're going to go there. If it's completely trash, you just move on to. That's why you might hit 20. If it's completely trash, you move on. So you're going to look at these websites, and then you're going to go in and you're going to scroll through and say, hey, I like the flow of this website. The colors I don't really like. But you're going to just call out the things that you think are positive, so you can ignore what's not, right? So I like the layout on this website. Hey, I like the placement of this, or I like the images they got here. I want this style of images. Boom, you go to the next one. On this one, I like the way that their quote form looked. I like, like the questions that they had. It was simple, blah, blah, blah. Go to the next one. So you're going to go through and you're going to get 5 websites that you like, and then you're going to take notes on what you like about them. What you're doing behind the scenes is you're creating a brief for a graphic designer to go in to build, and now you create a brand of your own, but you use 5 or 6 different companies that you've seen. They don't have to be print shop related, but some of them should be, because you get the flow and the aesthetic, but you may like a completely different brand. Like right now, the project that I'm working on, I'm using the car company slateauto.com, which is a brand new car that's coming to the market with, it's a car, but you get to build it, right? And so as I'm introducing this screen print machine, I'm like, yo, I want to, like, I don't want the color scheme and stuff, but the way that they're positioned, I can literally take everything they're doing and apply it to this new thing over here. So it doesn't have to be related fully, but so you just got to search. But when you're searching, search for like screen print shops and just pick popular places. So you can pick, not even popular, you can be like Miami, screen print shops, Oklahoma, right? And just start to click through that top list and just see what people are doing in different areas and figure out what it is that you like. You can also look on Instagram at people's branding and aesthetic. So you can go through their Instagram profile. And that's when you told me Shania, I was like, I get it. But Shania has something that a lot of people don't have. And she got, she's out in front of her brand and her personality, and in her area allows her to get skits and stuff going, which if you want to go in that direction, it's a great direction to go in. But knowing you, I'm like, I get why she picked her, but you don't really want to be her, right? You don't even want to cater to her demographic. Her brand and her aesthetic is her, and the streetwear market and all of that kind of stuff is not the market that most everyday people want to go after. But she does have a great feminine aesthetic to what she's doing as she does it. So, but again, putting that on my list and really being specific, hey, I want to, like, because now you can get out to a graphic designer and say, hey, when I make my posts, or when we do some of the things that we're going to do later, like making posts and like all of that kind of stuff, I want to keep this, vibe to it. And, so now you pretty much educate your team on how to work with me. work with you. And when you work with Adobe for the whatever you do use them for, I had to work with him I worked with him since 2020 to now, where I've trained him to kind of like be able to facilitate this stuff. So you go and get the cheat code. You're not going to have to educate him. You literally give him a brief and say, hey, if you go out and call it, I need a business card, I need a brochure, I need it on this size, I need this. And he know where to get the templates from. He know where you going to print it from. He knows all of that stuff. Now it's like you dump it on this project, all you doing is making revisions. So this opens up your catalog for something that you really only have to create the brief for, which you want to start with yourself, but you now can go out and say, you can really be G-code print and design, because now you have the capabilities, even though you don't even really have the capabilities. You got somebody that you can hire, and then we teach you how to go find more and all that kind of stuff too. But I got the people that I use right now could take on more work with no problem.
Okay. Alrighty.
So I didn't let you down, but I was like, I gotta reconstruct these instructions, and I was like, yo, I ignored this. And when I was talking to her, I was like, you don't even understand, like, yo, this could be an easy $1,000 project that all you have to do is spend 2 hours or an hour when you get really good at it, going to look at. So you got a construction company, or I got a car company that came to me. I got a pool lady that came to me out of DC, right? Let's talk about the pool. The pool lady that came to me out of DC, I went and searched in Atlanta for pool companies. I went and searched for like the expensive places in California, and I put together a brief, and we need a logo and more your feminine vibe. It was exquisite pool, so we wanted some cursive, whatever. I dropped that off, boom, come back. Now I did build the website, but all the stuff that she wanted or needed, I just gave it, say, here's the list, here's the aesthetic, here's the brand, and I didn't even have to make any revisions. So this is a skill set that you can take and you can make it available to people, and this is where you start to take and you turn it from a product or a t-shirt where you be a service. And the thing that most print shops or people don't do, and I'm struggling, I don't know anything about this, is the promo world. When you take somebody's logo, all you need is their logo and their color scheme and whatever they have. If they don't have it, you create it. But whatever they have, and whatever it is that they want printed, you can service them. Right? Whatever it is that they want printed. And that's where it's like, no, like I can do your t-shirt. I am your person. No matter what it is, if it requires your logo going on something, I want to provide you that service, right? The only place that I feel like I got to get better, I got to learn more, is the promo market, right? For most print shops, they'll tell you they're trying to get into it, but they just really don't understand it in retrospect to what we do. So the skill set that you're acquiring now, I mean, it should add at least $10,000 this year. Maybe, depending on how fast we get up and running this year. But next year, you should be able to add an easy $20,000-$25,000 potentially to whatever you make, depending on how far you go. So it could be 25% of your business.
And I actually wanted to get into the promo world as well, and not just I wanted to do pins, posters, all of that stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the digital print market. I got you. And then we're going to work on getting more information in the promo space. Because I'm not talking about craft promo. I'm not talking about promo where it's like you got to figure out how to do it and all of that kind of stuff playing around. I'm talking about, I know where to go get it. I'm going to send the artwork, send the specs, send everything I need to send over there. They're going to get it to me or ship it directly to the customer. Yeah, I'm not trying to, remember, we're not trying to, now, there are some things that may be worth it. But printing a logo on a bunch of pins for us, maybe with UV now, UV might help us, right? Not taking it off, certain things off the table, but the labor or whatever it may be. Do I even want to sit here and do 100 pins and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So UV has made it a little bit easier on that side too now, versus having to cut out sticker vinyl and do some, some birthday fun stuff, and that's for some people. Sometimes if you know anybody who crafts in your area, like my homegirl, she crafts. So if somebody asks me for something that's a flat out craft, I'll ask her if she wants to do it, how much she want, and then I'll just to service the customer. I'm like, I don't have to make money on this, but I don't really want to do 20 water bottles. It's not big enough for me to take somewhere else, right? So those are all things that we can consider there too.
Okay.
So that's your homework. I want a full blown. Put it on the Google Doc. Share it with me. I should. I gotta. I'm gonna share a Google Doc with you.
Okay.
So in the beginning I was taking notes with everybody, and we didn't do that. The form, and then I was taking notes in this one doc that would be our working document that kind of will hold all our summaries. But soon I think I'm working on the community, so we probably move into the community. So I won't be holding those notes. It'll be up to you guys to keep them. I'll have summaries, but you know, I'll as we do it, because it'll be more of like group calls at once that happens. And so, but I'm gonna send you a doc for this, and then we'll work out of there. So that'll be your kind of new homework. I want to get a full creative director brand guide doc from you, so that we can get this part done. So as soon as you got it done, just let me know, and then I'll review it fast, and then I'll get it into the hands of whoever's going to work on your stuff overall. We'll try to figure out who that'll be, and we'll get it into their hands.
Okay. So I will work on that. Hopefully I have that done before the weekend.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
I got faith in you. Did you have any more questions?
No, that's pretty much it. No, I'll send over that. Well, I'm going to text her. I'm going to WhatsApp her, see if she even still wants the service from me. And then, oh no? Just tell her.
We're not being proactive. I mean, we're going to be proactive. So, the steps here is send me the logo. I'm gonna get you the vector and the mock-up. You don't gotta worry about it. It's not gonna cost you nothing. So, when we reach back out to her, we're trying to be pleasantly persistent. So, here's what it'll look like. What date do you need it by, so I can make sure I got them done for you. That's almost like, well, I'm going to get my shirts from her. Now, she could come back and say, you know what, I decided to go somewhere else. Hey, no problem. Keep me in mind the next time. I'm sorry it didn't work out with us, but whatever. Like this, it's okay. Keep me in mind for the next job, right? She's doing big enough work. You know what I'm saying? That it's worth to do it this way. And then I just don't even invite her going somewhere else into my mind. So like, I don't think about my price being too high. You know what I mean? I know this is what I need to make. If they came back and said the price is too high, I'm willing to negotiate. But I'm gonna be proactive about a job that comes in. You know what I'm saying? And so, sometimes I'm ordering stuff for people and printing because I just been too lazy to get to the computer, put the invoice in. But I know that this person said they want it. I don't worry about people skipping out on money. I don't suggest everybody operate like this. But I'm just so fortunate that this is something that I can ignore, because people they said they wanted, they pay. Guy was like, I want 10 of these. I'm like, yo, then he texted me and said, hey, I want black and red, so that's 20. I said, these $40, right? $40 a piece. He like, all right, let me just get the 10 first. I was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Wait, because I don't even know if you got the price, because he was a referral from somebody else. So I was like, I don't know if he told you the price or whatever, but this is what I charge for these. You know what I mean? Gotcha. And it's nothing to do with like formulas or anything like that. That's all off of, that is a shirt. The shirts that I be wearing typically, with my logos on it. Not the t-shirt, the like barber cape looking thing. It's a coach's shirt.
Okay, yeah.
I just upstairs. I just wore this because I like the way this one. I might switch it up a little bit, but the ones you normally see me wearing in my video, I got all the colors, and I just wear that every day as my uniform, right? Those I charge $40 for.
Okay.
They are like 16. I put a 30. Like the DCF rim is like 30 cents. but the market value on it is more of a premium style. They only see me wear it. Every time I wear it, I'll sell them. If I get his order, I post it on Facebook, they gonna be sold. It's just the way that those work. So again, I'm not inviting any of those thoughts to come in. So we're gonna be proactive. Right. Not if you, hey, I want to see if you still want them shirts. Nope. Hey, I mocked up your shirts. You know, you are her person. That's right. How you gotta approach all of these people.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm gonna go be proactive and get it done.
All right.
Yeah, because she was a referral, so it was a lady that haggled me the first time about my price, and she only wanted like 10 shirts, and I'm like, I can't give them to you for $15, and you wanted all of this stuff on it. So
if it'll, like, again, rely on the price sheet. Just know, you know what I mean, and you can adjust it. Like, you don't have to just stay with those. You can adjust based on whatever you see fit. But you know, and then considering it, we ain't even getting to like the referral for you know, like we ain't even getting to a lot of other stuff that's going to happen, because if you know where this order came from, this lady places an order, you go back to the other lady and say, hey, thanks for sending that person. You got you know, you got a $50 credit, you know, on any order over X amount of dollars or whatever. Like, you got a $50 credit now. So you know, that stuff that'll happen. And if she starts to send you more and more people, you know, you want to encourage that stuff, and that's when you get to sit back, because now she's a part of your marketing team. And it just depends on how big the orders are that she brings in. I'm not giving you a commission on $100 orders. Like, we're not about to just sit here and do that. But if something sizable comes in, then, you know, a couple $1,000 order, you know what I mean, I can, you know, I can give you one of those barber capes, which is like a $50 value, but I know it's really only $10 to my marketing expense. You know what I mean? So that's where we're headed. A little peek into the future there.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right.
Just get started on this, and I'm gonna send you all the information.
I'm gonna text message your way. I want to see this deal close, man.
Yes, me too.
All right.
All righty. Thank you so much.
See you. So there y'all go, man. I don't know what y'all got out of that, but gotta see if we got some questions in here. I do small batch in shop outsource detail printing. If more than 25, what's your opinion on printable HTV? What's up, Marcel? Hey, I like printable HTV if I'm in a bind. I would, like, if I was to like consider DTF or like the Roland BN20, based on what I do, I would probably keep in the realm of the EcoSolver printer versus a DTF printer, because of the nature of how you're gonna run the machine. I could run my BN20, just let it sit forever, run my BN20, and then print one Eagles person design that somebody walked up and asked for, and not have to worry about it, versus having to be there, having to run my DTF machine every day. That's not the type of business that I want to run, right? So a part of this is how you run your DTF printer, or how you want to run your business, where you want to spend your time at. If you buy a DTF printer, you are going to be doing a bunch of DTF printing unless you hire somebody. That meeting is over. And so right now we're finishing up the YouTube video, so keep listening, and then maybe we'll get some content out here from these questions. Any questions? Marcel, you free, man? What's up, Jay? So for the program, the blueprint program is down in the link. So you book it, you can go in there, you can see, run through it, and the team will schedule a call with you, see if you're a right fit. If you are a right fit, then they'll let you know all of the details. But we only want people who will be of the right fit, working on the business and grinding and growing. So we go through that process. So go down there, You'll see a link for the blueprint, and you can jump in there. Marcel, we gotta get you on. What else we got? And oh yeah, we do weekly meetings. So right now we just scheduling it as we go. Once I get this thing built out, we'll move to Sunday calls, and then we'll if there's one-on-ones needed, then we'll do one-on-ones then. And then what else? Something else I was gonna say. Yeah. Yeah, you seen that? I don't know how much of this meeting you just caught, but I told you, bro. You. By the time I got to you, you got the best part of it because everybody's perspective was something that I was ignoring, not ignoring. I didn't consider what I was telling you guys when we were going through that process for you. So that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. And hopefully she goes back and she was able to close up on this order. I really hope she's able to close up on this order. It was a nice size order, so it'll be a quick win. Yeah, you get her pricing right, she'll be in the ball game. All right, if y'all don't got no more questions, I can hang out for another 15, 20 minutes or so if y'all want. So if y'all got more questions, y'all can drop the questions. If not, then I will I'm gonna get off. Yeah, not will. I will. I'm gonna get off if nobody has anything else. I'm gonna keep working a little bit on what I'm working on, and then we'll run it. All right. Good. Question. Stand the man. Questions. Can your strategy work even if you're not the t-shirt printing business? Bro. So the funniest thing is that yes, it does. I do it. You can use these strategies for any product. It doesn't matter. If you watch the live, I can't look right now, but if you watch the live from, I'm trying to think about what it was titled. Not the one. It's like maybe it had to be one within the last two lives. So if you go to YouTube channel, you click live. It's one that says you got to be a nerd up in your business. It's not that one. It's the one after that. I just don't know the title. What I titled it off the top of my head. Nonetheless, if you watch that video, I break it down how it can work for any type of business. Literally any type of business. Same strategy we use for the phlebotomy school. Same thing we're using for the new screen print machine. We broke down in that video how to do it if you want to do a dirt bike rental, and then how you want to do it if you had a toy car. The things that you gotta have is not only predicated to a t-shirt business. You just have to make the process apply. And so yeah, next year I'm working with some off businesses now, that's not t-shirt businesses now. But next year is gonna be a year where I kind of like open it up and have a program that's not for t-shirt businesses, like a full blown program. Because ultimately this is how you market, right? This is how you organize your business, and then this is how you market. So I'll just give you a brief example, right? First thing you need is a product. Any product, you gotta have a product, right? Then you have to do market research. I call this like testing. You gotta make sure it works and people want it, right? This is also where you're gonna figure out like the pricing, right? What the market is, the market value, all right? Is it wanted in the space? So you gotta test the product. Once you do the testing, you package it up, right? That's where you implement your pricing, your branding, and then you can technically get on to the point where you actually are able to market. So then you got to find your unique selling point, which is where now you want to go and market. Like, what's the audience? You find the audience and you get in front of the audience. Right? And this is like a real quick overview. And it doesn't matter what the product is. But go watch that last live, and then that joint was fire. What's your thoughts on running ads on product content? Should you run ads off rip, or do you organically do it first? So it depends on what I say personally. You start out, you get everything packaged up and done. This would technically be organically before you run ads, right? Because your organic is your market research, right? Once you figure out something, you run something, it works a little bit. Once you figure out it works a little bit, you make sure that you can actually fulfill and provide the service or the product to the people, and you get their real feedback. That's all organic. While you're doing that, you perfect the systems and all of that stuff, which will be next, is you do your systems, right? Once you got your systems in place and you know how all of this works, then this is where you can actually market. This is where you can run ads. This is where you can get creative. And you never have to worry about this theoretically again. You just improve upon this over and over and over again. And the best way to do it is in levels. And that's what the program is really about. It's about getting these things done in levels, so that as you go out and when you add ads, you got a bucket here, right? This is what they call your funnel. But you got a bucket, right? And you got Instagram, right? You got TikTok. You got LinkedIn. You got your local networking. Then you got your ads, right? All of that's coming into this bucket. You running ads, and guess what's in this bucket? You got holes everywhere. So as they coming in, it's different size holes. So when you don't have some of this stuff done and figured out, you just took your product, you made a landing page, and then you put ads on it, you got holes all through your bucket. You're not following up with people. You're not doing the stuff that you think everybody, and I'm telling you, these are things I also had to fix myself, right? Because, and I'm going to tell you my biggest mistake in entrepreneurship is not doing anything with the data. I posted YouTube videos, and it grew over time, and I sent you guys in different places, but I never collected the information myself. So which means I gave it away to companies, which is fine, right? My business model, the plan that I had, it worked. But if I would have implemented, I had my own email list, and imagine if I had an email list of 100,000 people rather than a subscriber count of 100,000 people, right? So these are things that you have control over, and you only have to do it in levels. Last year, I just started collecting emails. I got 300 last year, 360 or something. whatever it was, by the start of the year. This year, we about to be 5 months complete, and I've already doubled what I did last year, and I did nothing with them last year. I just started collecting them. The next step is to start emailing them. The next step is start to automate the emailing. So there's steps and processes, no matter what the product is, that you should have done in your business in order to build and cultivate and compound success. So by implementing the program, the system, and all of that stuff, you start to close these holes up, right? Some of them are big problems, some of them are small problems, but you start to close them up, and then when you close them up, people just live in here. So your bucket start to overflow and overflow and overflow. That's what the system is going to do for you. That's the part that everybody's missing. We thought we needed to learn how to build a t-shirt business. We thought we needed to learn how to make shirts. And we do. You do. But more important, you got to learn how to build a business. This has nothing to do with the product. This lesson, t-shirts may not be the thing that gets you to where you want to be. They might not be the thing that bring you $1 million. But it also could be the thing that helps you first fund the lifestyle, but it could help you fund the next idea, because now you know how to act on an idea and turn it into a business and create revenue with it. The thing about what I've been able to do is I know the most valuable piece of this, right? The most valuable piece of this is actual marketing. It's this part. If you implement all of this, and with today you got AI, you got all of this stuff that helps you, you implement all of this stuff right here, right? All of this stuff here, all of this stuff that's actually inside once you get people in, and then you get to have fun with me. Because what I know how to do is really market. How to create campaigns, how to cross-collaborate, how to engage influencers in a way that makes impact, right? The only piece that I don't know, and I'm studying now, is ads. And it's a thing about implementation. Once you, like, I will tell you this right now. I work with my team. I stressed it. I want to know the instant that anything positive happens, because I know we got a system in place. So which means for anybody on this live right now who's not on the email list, go get on my email list. Go down in the description, sign up for my email list. I get a notification. You guys book a call, I get a notification. Somebody joins the program, I get a notification. I want to know the second that anything positive happens inside my business, because it makes me go harder. I can look back and have something to measure it on. It makes me go harder, because I also know that as I get more people on this email list, the business is a system that's going to work in a certain way. You may not buy today. It may take you 6 months, 30 days. Doesn't matter, right? But this isn't like t-shirts. This is business. So there you go. That's my rant. You can go watch the other one. I went and broke it down in more detail, and I gave like wild examples. But that is generally how this whole thing works. The part is we are out. We want to go out and we want to find business and we want to do all of this stuff. But behind the business, as we go out and do it, we're just losing because nothing's in place. All of them. You got the hand right. It's funny because when me and the team first started working together, I'm like, bruh, I need this system. Y'all want me to go out here and market. We need more leads. We need more leads. I said, bro, I think 1 month was like, I got 70 new email addresses. Nothing's happening with them. I'm not motivated to go and make a video. We got this stuff done. Y'all see a video come out every Monday, right? Y'all see a video comes out every Monday. Why is that? Because I'm motivated now, because I know my system works. I know things are going to happen, right? I know what I can help people do. I had to become better at packaging it up and getting it in front of people. Not getting it in front of people, rather. I had to package it up. I had to figure out what I was selling. And that's synonymous across all businesses. It doesn't matter what the business is. All right, any more questions? I got 8 more minutes for you guys. Any more questions? The coaching call from earlier was, I think this is her. I think it's her. It's either, I think it's a third week. It's either the second or third week. Morning. I think it's her second or third week. So she's very early on. She had a clothing brand. Now she's like, I'm converting over to the print shop side. We had to go through the naming process and all of that kind of stuff. So there's a couple series of videos inside the program that you go through. One, the general one, and then there's the marketing one as well. And so originally I thought she was further along than where she was, but she was further along from a clothing brand aspect, so we had to go back a step. But a lot of us start with brands and then we convert into print shops. You know what I mean? And so even for myself, I make clothing brand stuff because I can, because you know, I got the equipment, I have the access or the knowledge to, not because that is the thing that I want to have happen. It's a byproduct, right? I make my Delaware brand stuff. Haven't made a lot. If I ever get creative, I make something. If not, then it's there. I can do it, but we can get it there. No, you can't sign up because I don't have a website anymore and it's required. No, it's not required. I'll have to fix that. So just put don't have one. I'm gonna have to fix that. How do you know if you want to be a clothing brand versus a printing business? If you're into fashion, then you know I would assume that you may want to have a clothing business. But the everyday person like myself, I wear the same thing. If you get up in the morning and you throw that shit on, then you might want to have a clothing brand when it comes to, you know what I mean? You know, right? If you're looking for a business that you can just make money off of and not have to like get dressed every day to be in the fashion world and go and do all of that kind of stuff, you know, if you're not naturally always buying clothes because you like the styles, the latest fashions and stuff like that, then you probably don't want a clothing brand, right? There's another aspect of a t-shirt business. If you have a mission or a purpose and you want to fund it, then you may want to have a t-shirt brand, you know, or whatever the case is there. But if you want a business where you print shirts for other people, where you just, you know, the business comes to you, right? You don't have to go out and actively try to sell it to anybody. You come to me because you need shirts for your business, for your school, for your family reunion, for your nonprofit, for your t-shirt brand. You want people to come to you and bring you work and it just be kind of on autopilot of a sort once you get your name out there. That was the thing that I loved about the t-shirt business. The thing that I loved about the t-shirt business was the fact that it sells itself. It's literally like drugs, right? And I don't know if I should be saying that. Some people won't like it or whatever. They'll feel a different type of way. But if you just think about the process of selling drugs, the drug users, they come and get the drugs no matter what. It's just a matter if they're going to buy it from you. When you print t-shirts for other people, they're going to go get t-shirts no matter what. It's just a matter if they're getting it from you. So if you are the person that's top of mind and you got well presented work, right? You give quality product. Over here, you give quality product and you package, you know, you available at all times, and you available at all times here, they're just gonna keep coming to you if you're top of mind. But the second you take a month off and they needed you, they just gonna go find the next person. So the system allows you to set it up on autopilot as you work and you compound success, right? The marketing that I believe in is retention based, right? Meaning when you come in the house, you're staying in the house. When I pour you into my bucket, I want you to stay in the bucket. I don't want you leaving. And if you're leaving, I feel some type of way. I'm having a party over here and you trying to go to the party down the street. I'm going to feel some type of way about that, right? That is the logic or the mindset. I'm just giving y'all analogies, but that's why I love the t-shirt business. And I've done a lot of hustles. But if we can clean this up, and I showed you guys what it looked like last year for myself, right? If you can clean the system, not this, but the system, if you can clean the system up, that's the one thing I was missing all these years, because I was just out here hustling. I didn't learn it until I took what I knew marketing and I gave it to companies like Supercolor and all these other companies. And then I learned behind the scenes how to build a business. I got to watch a company go from 7 employees to 110 employees. Not only watch, but take part in the conversations and the decisions. That was like, I never needed to go to college. In 3 years that I got to sit back and experience it. And also on top of that, I knew the marketing side, which allowed it or which made it all happen. But if you go out and do the marketing, which is what I've done, t-shirt side wasn't the first thing that I blew up or the first thing I've been responsible for branding and putting out to the world, right? I did, as a kid, I was doing a book publishing company with like 56 authors, right? And I just went from experience to experience and the other things that I've done that had some level of success. But the system behind it, once I stopped focusing on it, it all died because the people that I was working under or doing this stuff for, they didn't have the systems in place. And I couldn't figure out what the problem was. I was better as a number 2, but I couldn't figure out what the problem was until I had these new experiences and I got to watch a business be built. So the trick is in, the growth is in, the knowledge is in. What we want to do, the life, you creating a business that helps you fund the life you want to live is about this stuff. You can interchange it. It don't got to be a t-shirt. You learn that, you can put any product in here and just drop it in and watch it go. The marketing, what I get to do is the fun part. This is the work. It took me 5 months to get this done. It took me 5 months to get all of this other stuff done so that I could add ads to my resume. I don't know. Is that Mississippi, I'm guessing? Regarding purchase a black t-shirt that hold up to washing. Is there a brand that tends not to fade? I don't know a brand that does fade. I don't know a brand of t-shirt that fades. Any of the reputable brands, I don't know a t-shirt that fades. So you got all your options. You got Gildan's, you got Port and Company. That's a good t-shirt. Fine. You got your Bella Canvas, your Next Level, your Circle Clothing, your District. That is a better level. You got your best level. You got your AS Colors. AS Color original favorites of his fleece. And then you got your streetwears. You know, I don't really know a brand of shirt that fades, honestly. If I go to any, and I need new shirts, if I go to any of the black t-shirts in my drawer, I don't think that any of them have faded. So I don't think that is something that we necessarily have to worry about, you know, when you go with some of these regular reputable brands. Shrinkage is almost a non-factor these days. Right? If you get a shirt fit the way you want it to fit, the shrinkage isn't much at all there anymore. You may have to go up a size, but typically you don't have to worry about any of that stuff when you go with some of the major brands. Now, you go with some of them off brands, and it's been a while, but like you go with like Blank Nights, you go with what's the other, Gym Rock, that's out of like New York and Jersey area. Like they've notoriously made fleece and different things that shrink very, very bad. Um, I don't know, but I just know they come out of Pakistan, and I had to use them for a while, and they do come with shrinkage. Um, but overall, most companies are no longer making products that shrink. You know what I mean? Like Circle Clothing, it's kind of a non-factor based on that fit and feel. So you go at one of the reputable brands, and I don't think your brand book needs to go much deeper than the ones I just named, unless you're looking for something special. But those are, ones that I've used over the years, and really to me, they're all the same. So I just go with Port and Company and District and Circle for the most part now. And Sports Tech, my favorite brand, Sports Tech. All right. It's 10 o'clock. If one more pops up, I'll answer it. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna finish the work that I got right here in front of me, and kind of call it a day. I wrote this backwards. I should have started on that side. This marker is like, I don't like it. Looks like it's trash. Trash. Pinky said, how hard is it to set up a Shopify website? To me, it's not hard at all. But if you have never set up a website, you can get it up. Customizing it becomes a little bit of a task. However, I have a platform. If you're not a pure, like, print shops don't need to be on Shopify, in my opinion. So I got another platform called My Gourmet Website. You can go in there, you can build your site on there. I'm going to be making tutorials. The group here is already making their websites in it. So I'm going to be making some tutorials and different things based on their education. But it's pretty much drag and drop, and you can build a website pretty good in that program, with a very little knowledge. Got templates and everything for you to start with. I think it's better than Shopify. It does take products, but it's not a pure e-commerce platform solution. So if you want to play around with it, you can go in there and check it out. What's it called? It's like a 7-day trial, and you can go in there and build it. I actually just built the website for that in there. And the team, they've been in there building their websites on their own. So, but Shopify, if you're pure e-commerce selling a product, that is the place, or a bunch of products, that's the place that you want to do it. But customizing it yourself with no knowledge isn't necessarily easiest. Picking a template, changing the colors, putting your logo, putting your images, putting your products, pretty easy. You can manage it from the phone, but it does require a little bit of help to get functioning the way that you want to get functioning in there, in my opinion. Yeah, that's that. Let's see. How do I bring it on? Sound like you question. Okay, so this is transformation. Anything else? Can you recommend a detailed transfer company that makes very stretchy non-crack transfers? I don't have a necessary. I don't have a adequate recommendation for you. Just test them out. They all give away free samples. Test them out. I just use a local guy that you guys pretty much can't go to. Um, so I don't use any of the big companies at the moment. I haven't tried them. Um, honestly, since I don't no longer shop or use Supercolors products, um, I no longer use Supercolors product. I really just use a local person here. Sheesh, this is a long joint, man. Uh, any more questions? Drop them in. Damn, this thing is crazy. Which Joyce Clark? What is your opinion on setting up at outdoor markets? It depends on what you're selling. Um, so to kind of go back to everything that we just said, the question is, what's your opinion on setting up at outdoor markets? When it comes to like, once you identify your product, you know what your product is. no matter what the product is, you're going to figure out what is the best place to get you in front of your perfect customer, right? So I have this product. What I would ask you is, for your product, is a outdoor market a good place for you to get in front of your perfect customer? That's the question. So if you said to me that, Stan, would you take your gourmet print and design to vend at an outdoor art fair? I would probably say, an outdoor market, I would probably say no, right? But if you said, Stan, would you take your Delaware t-shirt brand to an outdoor market? I would probably say yes, right? Now, if you said, Stan, but I want to take my print shop to an outdoor market, what I would tell you is, I would say, hey, well, let's put you in the best position to be successful, right? Which means probably is a good place. So if I'm going to go out there, that means I run a local print shop. I'm going out there. What is it that I could do here to let people know that I print t-shirts and that I can work for their organizations and schools and different things like that? What experience could I give them that would make them remember me? Now, I would go out there, I would do live print. I would print shirts. I would take shirts out there. I would print shirts with people, and then I would just let them know about my business, or maybe I'll print a Delaware design that they could take and they could have. And I would just start to ingrain myself in the community. But that doesn't just come with going to one event. That comes with an entire plan around it that says, hey, these are the things that we want to do in order to become known in our area. Again, the system has to be, I want to have my Google business ready. I probably want to have a storefront at that point, to send people to if they should ever need shirts. I probably want to have like the backing of the actual event. Maybe we print the actual event T-shirts, but we print them live with people, but they're paid for by the event, so people could leave with a specific experience that's happened, right? And these are all things that, like, if I never would have took a break to fix this in my print shop, these are things that I will be pursuing right now, because I did a good groundwork year. I kind of got all systems in place last year, and now it's like, to level that up, these are the types of experiences that I need to take part in, because I want to be involved in the community. I want people to see me in the community, and that means I need to make decisions that are going to make that possible. So yes, it could be. No, it could not be. It just matters on where you are in your business and what you're trying to accomplish, because you're going to create the plan around that. Another one. Dang, this part is the part called CTA. The CTA. I know you got questions. How much? Now I'm able to knock this out the park. All right, guys. This has been a great live session. I hope y'all got something out of it. I don't know if I'm going to leave this live or not. Maybe I'll leave it live for if anybody who wants to come back and watch this one. But I'll probably take it down in a day or so. Or I don't know. I'm definitely going to take it down at some point. But that gave you guys a little peek inside the program. And it only gets better and better from here. But, being able to have access to people, I've had I've jumped in programs to get access to the knowledge that I wanted to learn. It speeds up the process, and it just makes sure that you're in the right position, and it always is making you take steps forward when you may not know what to do next, or you got questions, or you're stuck somewhere, and allows you to focus on the things that really matter and not this broad list of things that actually has to happen. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.